it is impossible to proceed with any matter relating to Ablikman North in terms of roll call and in terms of the eligibility of a member for that constituency to participate in the election of the Speaker. In the case of Akwetia, the clerk to Parliament was served a process on the 3rd of January 2025 with an order of interim injunction from a high court in Koforidua. This order was served through the legal office of the Parliamentary Service. The order directed the respondents, including the clerk to Parliament, indicating that they are restrained from proceeding to call, admit, register, swear in, recognize, gazette the said Ernest Yao Kumi as the elected member for the Akwetia constituency. At the time of the receipt of the order, the Parliamentary Service had already completed the process of registration of Ernest Yao Kumi as member-elect. This is precisely because the first writ of elections that we received, Ernest Yao Kumi was part of that process. So we received writ of elections in respect of Ernest Yao Kumi. And without the pendency of any suit, any process, the Parliamentary Service, in compliance with due process, had to register the member. So we did so. Subsequently, it has come to our attention. There's a restraining order of a court. Restraining not just a member, but a clerk to Parliament from proceeding with the registration of, from proceeding with the members' participation in the election of the Speaker. This is a matter that honorable members ought to know, since it is a court order, which order restrains the clerk to Parliament as well from proceeding or dealing with a member in this matter. I find myself constrained.
Mr. Chairman, colleagues, please, let's make a headway. Mr. Chairman, we have heard you. This is a house of rules and procedure that is not in doubt. This is a house that relies on precedents. I just have a simple answer to the point you made, and I have the instructions of my respected colleague-elect, Honorable Ernest Kumi, and fortified by the precedents of this house, which precedent is dated 7th of January 2021. I simply, Mr. Chairman, the member so desires to proceed to be sworn in and to also participate in the election of the Speaker and bear the consequences himself.
Thank you very much.
To appear in this court today, Sunday, so that the application has been filed by the NPP parliamentary candidate for Akwetia. His lawyers, that is Gary Mako, they had served us that we should come to court today. And that is why we came here today. His application was moved. We had some initial objections. In law, we're short-set. Once you file an application, you need 3 days upon service before you can move the application. But the court said that he was exercising his discretion, to have the matter heard today. We have respect for the court. So we decided to do what we call a viva voce, response to the application.
Constitution, which ensures that disabled people have access to non-discrimination.
Leadership.
Today appears to be a day for the first timers. Clearly, what it means is that this chamber has a great future, where you have first timers and some senior members making a statement and hearing contributions. Mr. Speaker, before I get into my own contributions, I want to remind colleagues that we need to exercise. Because when we stand, we have to stand upright and make our statement. People are always bending. Since you can't stand on your waist, no, you need to stand. Whether a lady or gentleman, stand firm. If there's a problem, let's exercise. We have to exercise so that when we're on our feet, we're able to stand very firm and upright.
Honorable Minority Leader, the statement before us is on social justice.
That is true, Mr. Speaker. A good health will contribute to. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, the honorable members who made this statement drew our attention to a number of issues affecting society. Mr. Speaker, I would want to adopt the three statements from the members as though same were coming from me and rely on all of them for records. Except to say that, Mr. Speaker, I don't want this House to be drawn into the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. That conflict has its own history, and we need to be very cautious in drawing that conflict into our discussion in this House floor. And it's for the reason that I believe Honorable Gansa, although his statement was well intended, the way it came up, it created a certain impression. And I just want the record to reflect that this House is not taking sides in that conflict. We only pray that there will be justice for all in that enclave. So, Speaker, each day in my prayer, I pray for peace in the Middle East. That I'm citing also has in it an application.
Point of information, Mr. Speaker. On Standing Order 93.5, whether it's still being enforced. That's all.
So, for bringing this statement to bear, or this subject matter to bear, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, this is a topic that requires attention and action, and it will interest all of us to know that the Constitution and other laws alike, especially other international instruments, guarantees this right to us as a people. But historically, most people have suffered social injustice, not because they do not have the protective right, but because we politicians ourselves, over the period, have become culprits and victims of this social injustice. Mr. Speaker, today, as we speak, I'm happy that this discussion is being had in this Parliament dispassionately. Just last week, a simple request for procedural fairness from the Minority Leader
on behalf of a former minister of this republic, degenerated into a debate on this floor. And as I sat in my chair, I asked myself, for how long will we keep doing this to ourselves? Because today it is me, tomorrow it could be you. And as we keep arguing along the way, I ask myself that if the Constitution guarantees that at least we need to be fair to ourselves, why can't we allow and ask for a simple procedural fairness to happen? Other speakers have spoken already on other things that do happen to us as politicians. The protocol conundrum that we politicians keep giving to people is also increasingly becoming a challenge to us in this country. And to quote the Honorable Dr. Kumbo, who had said previously in other public domains, until you are injected by an incompetent doctor or nurse for you to die, that is when you know that we need to begin to advocate for fairness and equal opportunity and access for people. Mr. Speaker, just this morning, I was asked by a journalist within this precinct of Parliament that he wants to know that are we waiting, or for how long will we wait until when a president wins an election in this country and the opponent goes to court just to challenge that person unfairly and to just deny that person that right that is due him? Mr. Speaker, in order not to sound prejudicial, I refuse to comment on the matter. But I want all of us to take note.
Order. Honourable members, order.
Mr. Speaker, I want all of us to take note that this discussion that we are having here should not be one that we are just having it today and let it slide. It should bring to fore meaningful thought and discussion, where citizens, policy makers, and CSOs will all come together to advance social justice in this country, and especially to me as the MP for Akwetia in this country. Thank you.
Honourable members, order. Honourable members, order. Honourable members, you need not be on your feet before you say here, here. You can do so while sitting. Leadership.
They are exposed. In fact, the male ward of the Winneba Government Hospital has been converted into a cholera treatment center. They've also
opportunity. Right Honourable Speaker, I am extremely grateful for the opportunity to make this statement on a rather unfortunate development in the Walawale constituency, the skirmishes that have led to the needless loss of lives, the act of lawlessness by the security personnel, and then subsequent imposition of curfew on Walawale and its environs. But before I proceed, Mr. Speaker, I want to convey my sincerest condolences to the families of the several innocent lives that have been lost due to the unfortunate developments. Mr. Speaker, the people of Walawale and its environs are now living in pain, apprehension, and fear.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
All right. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Audu Moore. It's always a pleasure coming your way. And as usual, I want to thank God for his little message. We're still alive and kicking to bring you another thought-provoking and insightful, great conversations about our country, Ghana. And once again, I'd like to say Juma Mubarak to our Muslim friends. Yeah, 12:30, we're supposed to be at the mosque to pray to the Almighty Allah for his continuous blessings and guidance and support. I'll go straight ahead and look at what the newspapers are reporting this morning. So as we do always, front page, Daily Graphic is what I want to start with. Daily Graphic. This one is reporting that President Mahama delivers State of the Nation address next week. 10% pay rise for government workers. Minimum wage now 19.97 cedis. Kwame Nahasumening leads Ghana Association of Banks. And also Payaza launches SME funding initiative. The Ghanaian Times. Public sector base pay goes up by 10%. Minimum wage now 19.97 cedis. President Mahama names 19-member cabinet, holds first meeting. We must renew efforts to end Boku conflict. Minister. Government takes measures to prevent perennial flooding at Odorna. Daily Guide. Payaza empowers SMEs. Base pay up by 10%. Be father for all. Bamia to Mahama. Akwetia MP challenges conviction. Stay and face accountability. Ahiagba to NPP appointees. The Weekend Crusading Guide. Out of giving Ghana banking industry unbeatable competition, Seydou Agongo. On World Social Justice Day, Impraiso MP calls for end to politically motivated dismissals. I am disappointed. Coup d'etat are back in fashion. Or coup d'etats are back in fashion, says Akufo-Addo has endorsed his book by ex-coupists. Bawumia hollers at Mahama. These are certainly worrying times for our democracy. Fix it. Volta NDC congratulates Dua Jaho, Gabriel Tanko, Kwamega Atople. Stray bullet injures district engineer in Sogakope. The Insight newspaper. Group dismisses corruption. Mismanagement claims against VRA's acting CEO, engineer Obing Kenzo. Europe humiliated but still subservient after remarks from U.S. officials. Royal feud as Fete Kakraba chief, Queen Mother face-off over public toilet. Raid in Oforiatta's home justified if it's for national interest, according to a lawyer. Trump or not, why Africa must take charge of its future. The Herald. Private interest chains Ghana's national interest in ENI Springfield utilization tussle. $250,000. Financial rot lands Ghana Army in court. Nigeria bank sues. Officers blame dead businessman. Mahama uncovers Akufo-Addo's criminal mishandling of economy, but gives state workers 10% increment effective next month. Emirates Sky Cargo reinforces commitment to African market. Maranatha Oil refutes post-dated Ghana gas contract claim. The Daily Statesman. Abankwayabo debunked claims of disparaging Tescon. Bantama MP calls for measures to curb pedestrian fatalities. No way for coups. Akufo-Addo denounces coups at ex-Coupe's book launch. Stop dismissing workers. Bamia charges Mahama. Bono Tree project officially launched in Sunyani. The Ghanaian Publisher. Rededicate to democracy. Akufo-Addo to African leaders. Bamia jabs Mahama over public sector dismissals. Mahama's cabinet has space for only 2 women. Minority condemns action against Akwetia MP. National minimum wage up by 10%. The custodian. Evuale Jura, Ajomoro NDC chairman, denies Galamsey reports. Government gives workers 10% pay rise. Democracy remains Africa's best option, Akufo-Addo affirms, endorses ex-coup-paced book. Create new jobs and stop sacking workers, Bawumia tells Mahama. Volta region congratulates Right Honorable Doa Jaho and Kwamega Tanko. Ghana's economy was criminally mishandled under Akufo-Addo, President Mahama. Government approves 10% salary increase for public sector workers. Plans underway for full implementation of Mahama's 24-hour economy policy. Kwacho Fosu, vetting of deputy ministerial nominees to begin on Monday. The Catholic Standard. Church in Africa prays for Pope's complete recovery. Church calls for involvement in management of her schools. Collective effort needed in reforming Ghana's education system. And then there is an editorial. Emergency response to cholera and CSM outbreaks is not enough. The Daily Searchlight. Frimpong Boateng skins NDC's lawyer Senanu. Assembly member rattling for his life after alleged attack by NDC thugs. Catholic Church unhappy about treatment by actors in education. And Awin Traditional Council MP in a major clash as chiefs demand retraction. The Informer. Don't run away from accountability, Akufo-Addo tells ex-appointees. Reinstate dismissed recruits. Council of State appointment, no praise singing, sycophancy. Sophia Kufu assures public. Galamsey claims 9 of 44 forest reserves. Minister reveals. Come prepared or else, Afenyo marking. BNFT. National ID system to eliminate football age fraud. Dr. Zakaria appointed insurance commissioner. SMEs more vital than ever. Ghana Commercial Bank MD calls on national chief imam. And finally, Metro Lens. 10% salary increase for public sector workers. Create new jobs. Stop dismissing innocent workers. Bawumia to President Mahama. Dr. Da Costa Boaje lays grandmom to rest tomorrow at Kumewu. The Minister of Interior commends IGP for police reforms and headquarters upgrade. So that's it for the front pages of the newspapers. I'll be back. I'll tell you who my guests for this morning are, and the conversation will start. Please stay with us.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kelkit Toothpaste. Wow. I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kelkits, happy smile.
Look around. Home also need a makeover. Mine clearly does. So we went to Ashroom and found the Como collection. It had everything we're looking for and more. Matching furniture for the entire home, designed with you in mind.
Where's Como collection? dressing up is just a breeze. Always ready with a perfect accessory.
A magic dressing mirror. One look and you're ready to face the world. Or at least the kids.
A bed perfect for young men who want
a table that turns into a treasure chest.
And finally, a sofa with this grand TV unit for family time at home.
Head over to any Ashfoam store now and discover the new Como collection. Ashfoam, feel it, know it.
Sometimes the unexpected happens and the hero falls down in his own story. But he needs not stay down for long. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance is your trusted health partner. Whether an individual building a business, with Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern. For the best health insurance solutions for corporate institutions, groups and associations, families and individuals, choose Cosmopolitan Health Insurance from our over 700 accredited health service providers nationwide. Call us on 0302 540 668 or 0501 678 547 for all your health insurance solutions. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern.
In an era where fire safety is paramount, Kabori Film Compound Technologies Limited stands out as a leader in the development of innovative fire dousing solutions. With a focus on aqueous film forming foam, the company provides a cutting-edge product that significantly enhances fire suppression capabilities across various sectors, including maritime, industrial and emergency response.
The oil and gas sector, along with chemical manufacturing facilities and fire services.
Kabori's advanced film technology offers a more efficient and environmentally responsible alternative.
Kabori is recognized for its superior extinguishing capabilities and prolonged resistance to reignition. Kabori's product is certified by the Ghana National Fire Service, the Ghana Standards Authority, the Environmental Protection Agency, and the Nigerian Standards Organization.
Kabori Film Compound Limited is situated in Nsawam within the eastern region of Ghana. For inquiries, reach out to them on 0245 885 288 or 0244 514 048. You may also contact them via email at info@kaborifilm.com. Kabori Film Compound Technologies Limited, providing film compound solutions to health institutions.
Who are you? Charlie, I'll be you from the future. Who doesn't sleep on that slice of bready poor mattress anymore? Don some slippers, then follow me.
It is part of the mattress we did the front there.
Yeah?
That be the mattress where the dead go.
Wait, what are you doing? Wow! No damage at all. Not only durable, but also super comfortable. Come on, try it.
Nothing day like Ashfoam. Enjoy full body support and unparalleled comfort for a restful sleep.
Don't forget your keys.
Get the premium sleep experience with mattresses from Ashfoam. Visit any of our showrooms nationwide or at ashfoam.com.
Mommy.
Michelle say, fe.
Different era, better result. Time has changed and time has brought Kel Chocolate Toothpaste, healthy gums, anti-cavity, fresher breath, and it whitens teeth. Kel Chocolate Toothpaste, Sankofa.
Yenchi, Kel Chocolate Toothpaste.
Happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
Fire pomudi ni agobi Ghana fueni age efi say ya your local spices na ya frafra dia ya sankofa natural spice
Me de go me jollof mu ni mi sti wa hodoma emanate dance
Stanley, the barbecue they go on.
see sankofa natural spices and one you use 100% natural said the happen
Adofo mamunye huge mistake sankofa natural spices the
FDA agi ejedi nkratu yatu.
Customer, Adana, who say?
Malaria been actually on my number still.
One give us.
Give us a solid.
Yeah, sorry. What rest of so give us here and don't come down.
But you give us some. But tomato give us the and some down.
Give us about me, sir.
Paper try the and some down.
Customer. Give us a tonto now.
Onuya kayo oba wa fa furo nom de o ma no banu fu nom akwada wa ni mfie dumie no ono
Leadership.
Today appears to be a day for the first timers. Clearly, what it means is that this chamber has a great future where you have first timers and some senior members making a statement and hearing
to the statement, though I must commend the minister. To the statement, though I must commend the minister and the colleagues who contributed. Mr. Speaker, in this house, we have different people with different backgrounds. In this chamber, myself and Honorable Gisela Tete, Agochi Tete, are the only architects in this house.
The OSP has declared Mr. Kenoforiata as a fugitive. As a fugitive. Mr. Speaker, in our local language, fugitive, in our local language, it means that Wadenua Kamura. Wadenua Kamura. Or, to put it simply, Wajibam. 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 Or in the Hausa language, Otilo. Otilo. Or to put it the more simpler way, Yagudu. It's as simple as that, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we should not be afraid of accountability. As public officials, when they took my laptop, it got to a point they couldn't even open the iPhone. I told them I was willing to come and use my fingerprint. It was then and there that they told me that the phones had been taken to the United Kingdom. I had to give them the password. Eventually, the very America that I was accused of, a minister was dismissed because it came here padded by almost $800 million.
All right, welcome back to Good Morning Ghana, Friday edition. It's now time for me to introduce my resource persons for today, and then we would proceed to have a conversation about the topics for today. Now, this morning, joining us is Dr. Thomas Winsome Anaba. I'm still learning the how to pronounce the middle name, so please bear with me. It's Dr. Thomas Winsome Anaba, who is the MP for Garu constituency and also a former director at the Accra Regional Hospital. Good morning, sir. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
And good morning to your viewers.
Yeah.
Especially the good people of Garu.
Yeah.
Specifically, the Bimoba group that is celebrating the Danjur Festival tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I wish them all the best.
What's that festival?
Danjur is a festival celebrated by the Bimobas to thank God for the harvest they had.
Oh, I see.
In the past year.
Okay.
So tomorrow there will be a very massive celebration.
Oh, nice.
At Kukwera.
Okay.
To mark it, and at least scores of people from Garu, both Bimobas, all the tribes in the Kosa traditional area would troop there to celebrate it, just like we celebrate Saman Pete for the Kosasis. And then it is always something that is of joy.
Yeah.
It makes us at least fraternize very well, unite in our common interests.
Okay.
And then at least praise the gods for keeping us alive.
Right.
So I'm sending my greetings to the good people of Kukwera, the Bimobile group, the tribe, for their anniversary of the Danjuar Festival.
Right.
What's the name of the festival? Danjuar.
Danjuari Festival.
Yes, Danjuar Festival.
Danjuari. Anyway, the man I was going to introduce has actually introduced himself, so he's even made my work easier. Honorable Reverend John Intim Fojo, who is the Member of Parliament for Ascent South and also a former Deputy Education Minister. Honorable, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, Mauro.
I hope you're doing very well.
And by the grace of God, we're doing very well.
Yeah. But before I could proceed with you, I want to ask Dr. Thomas Anaba. The Bimobes, in the north, the different tribes have what we call playmates.
Yes.
So, for instance, I am Gonja.
Yes.
One of our playmates are Sisala people. So anytime we meet them, we ask them to kneel down.
Yes.
And then they will also say we should kneel down. And then we do things like that. It's interesting. Bimobes, who are their playmates?
Their playmates are Kusasis and then Dagatis.
Okay.
That's why Bernard Mona every year would be at the Danjuar Festival.
Okay.
To commemorate.
So who is the slave and who is the master?
This time is the egg and the chicken issue. You don't know who is the slave and who is the master. So both are slaves and masters at the same time.
I see.
So
everybody's claiming
to be the boss.
The boss.
Yes. We and the Bimbabes we also have those plays because we are intermarried and we play with each other, we tease each other and the rest. But that is fine.
So you are a Biboba?
I'm a Kusasi.
Oh, you're a Kusasi? 100%?
100% Kusasi.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So we live with the Bimobas. In the Garu area, part of the current Garu constituency in Timpani were then the Transvolta Togoland under the Germans. And then 1914, they were added to Ghana.
Okay.
So you see Bimobas in Togo, and you see Bimobas in Ghana.
In Ghana.
Yes, just like even the Kusasis. You see Kusasis in Burkina, you see Kusasis in Ghana. Right. So,
this artificial
division of
Africa. Divisions of boundaries.
Yes, divided families. I have aunties in Togo, I have aunties in Burkina, uncles when there's an activity, we cross and do things and the rest, just like the Bimobes. That is why sometimes they are crying of we being exposed to sometimes terrorism, and some of us have. It's going to be difficult because we are related to most of the people across, and they will prompt us if there's anything happening. All the same, we encourage the security agencies to be vigilant.
In fact, I'm told that in Ghana here, there's somebody whose house, so the person's kitchen is in Ghana, and the sitting room is in Togo. I mean, unbelievable.
Actually, they don't know exactly where the division is unless the people in charge of territorial landmarks come to tell you, look, with coordinates, you are in Togo and those things. People have done it, and I've really seen that it's like that. If you are in Garu, sometimes you get the network of Togo.
Okay.
Or in Kukwera, network of Togo. If you are in Togo, you get a network of Ghana.
Okay.
Sometimes it crosses and the rest. And some people spend their day in Togo farming and spend their night in Ghana sleeping. And the reverse happens. Our cattle cross there, and their cattle cross this way. And we relate because we are family. We were one before the Europeans decided to split us into species. And we can't do away with our relatives. That's why sometimes some of us get a little bit uncomfortable when it comes to voting time. And they come and put soldiers there to barricade our relatives who may be farming there, but they are Ghanaians from coming to vote. But somebody who flies from New York with a plane and lands in Kotoka goes to vote. But somebody riding his bicycle or walking and coming into Ghana to vote is said not to be a Ghanaian, just because our great-grandfathers, some of them have lands across Togo. And we can't relinquish those lands. We still go there to cultivate. And some of them, too, their relatives have lands in Ghana. They can't relinquish those lands. So we have to...
I get it.
All the same, it's fun fair sometimes. We mostly enjoy ourselves. It's like tourism. Oh, I'm a Ghanaian. I've come to your place. You are a Togolese. You've come, but we are one family. Right.
Well, that's interesting. I don't think that down south, Reverend, do you guys have playmates?
Yeah, there are many similarities.
Well, you meet somebody's head. My slave, go down.
Yeah,
go down your knees. You have it.
Many such. You know, all the Fantis came from Techima.
Right.
From Mankasim, from Techiman all the way to Mankasim.
Okay.
Recently, one of my paramount chiefs, Bema Kwaminchi, who is the paramount chief for Asen Apimenim, we have 2 paramounts in Asen. He has had cause to say that he's joining the Ashanti Kingdom because history tells him that he's part of the Ashanti Kingdom.
Okay.
But the whites came and used the River Pra to share the demarcation. So a lot of the Asen's ancestry goes back to the Ashanti.
Interesting.
And then we have many such tribes that also cut across. Particularly the Guans, they are all dotted within Central region.
Right.
And then in other regions as well. But let me quickly join Honorable Anaba in wishing our good people, the Bimo Best, well in their Danjuari Festival.
Danjuari Festival.
Yes, congratulations.
Honorable should have invited us. Yeah, Honorable should have invited us.
When is
it's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
Yeah,
then
tomorrow.
It should have come a bit too late. But we can plan for next year.
Yeah, we can plan for
that's
next
fine.
year.
It'd be nice to have you
there.
there.
Is that a promise?
Yeah, it'd be nice to have you there. Yes.
We'll hold you to your promise.
Yes.
We'll hold your feet.
It's not in the manifesto, though.
We will prepare our smokes.
Yes.
That's fine.
It'll be good to be there. I mean, and the thing about it is that it takes a lot of energy to sort of participate in northern festivals, you know, and that's why you need energy drink, a very good energy drink. And this morning I'll introduce you to an energy drink that our colleagues who are participating in the Danjuari Festival. Please, if you haven't gotten yours, please do. It's called a Blue Jeans energy drink. Please, you need it so that you can do the thing and do it well. Anyways, Blue Jeans energy drink, as you do, it's been on the market for over 20 years, and we already know what it does for the body. It contains many vitamins and nutrients. We're talking about vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as the taurine and the guarana elements in it, which are known to boost your strength and your energy, as well as promote high performance and endurance. So Blue Jeans energy drink has been tested and tried. We know it, and we testify it, we like it, we drink it. Please do same, okay? Blue Jeans energy drink is for bold and active men and women. It's in shops nationwide, and so for bulk purchases, contact Budget and that Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 020-812-8190, 020-812-8190, or 055-001-000, 055-001-000. Anyway, again, before I continue, before we kickstart our conversation, let me remind you again that the Honorable Austin Game and the Traditional Council of Chiefs and the Queen Mothers of Volo are inviting all Volo citizens living in Accra, Tema Shaiman, Kasua, Joapong Pong, Adesu, Kofredi, and Cape Coast to an emergency meeting at the St. Mary International School premises near the Shama Night Market at 11 a.m. on Saturday, 22nd February 2025. The purpose is to discuss an urgent matter which cannot be postponed. Come prepared to enable us have a conversation about the way out of these looming trouble. There's some looming trouble. You need to come for that meeting. Very, very urgent meeting. So this one is from Honorable Austin Game. So that's another reminder, just in case you haven't heard. If you also know somebody who you think that you need to pass this information on, please do. It's an extremely important meeting scheduled for tomorrow. Honorable Reverend Ntimfojo, what exactly is your problem with the National Education Dialogue. The whole of this week, and for some reason, when I don't know, it's almost as if you tell me to tune in. But when I tune into some station just to monitor what's happening in Ghana, I hear you granting an interview, and it's almost like you've launched some kind of a jihad on the National Education Forum. The dialogue, I'm talking about the dialogue forum. What exactly are your concerns?
Yeah, thank you very much, Moro, my good brother, and a good morning to Dr. Anaba, the Honorable Member for Garu, and of course to our cherished viewers and our good people of Asin South. I'm excited to be on your show. To the National Education Forum, the moment was announced and way before they would start their work, I had made some predictions and I had stated my position against the timing of the forum. I have always stated that I'm not against the principle of stakeholder consultation because there's an adage that says that adreni bako for true. So all wisdom doesn't rest with one man, and the one who is charting a path may not know when their back needs to be straightened. So with these principles, it is good that you have stakeholder consultation, but the stakeholder consultation is necessary at the inception level when you're conceptualizing the policies and getting the vision together. That is the time it's essential you get the differences of opinion even before you craft your manifesto. The moment you craft your manifesto, it is cast in stone. It becomes your vision. It is your social contract. You go into election, you secure 6.3 million votes. That is what the Ghanaians are expecting you to set in motion, put it in your budget, and deliver on those promises. The fidelity of social contract is so important that politicians cannot have the convenience of promising, winning, dropping their promises, and then looking for other ways to renege on their promises. So I had always predicted that the National Education Forum, in the shape and form that is going to be conducted and the timing where it's going to be done, is just going to be an avenue where President Mahama will come and renege on most of the things he said he was going to do on the education sector, under the guise that, well, I wanted to do A, B, C, but stakeholders have advised me to do 1, 2, 3 instead. And so, and the predictions I gave was that it is going to mutilate largely and massacre free SHS, all the essential elements of free SHS that make it truly pro-poor, that make it equitable, that make it relevant, that increases access and removes barriers. All these very key principles will be mutilated. And I see from all the 7 key proposals that have come forth, that has occupied their discussion, and in all the rounds they've gone, actually playing out. And that is why the media is always quick to circle back to me to say, well, we spoke to you, you predicted 1, 2, 3, and same things are the ones playing out there, and we think that you have been exonerated. I do not relish being exonerated on any such predictions, because eventually, if that is the way President Mahama wants to take our education, it is going to send Ghana backwards some 30 years. It is going to totally destroy the gains we have made. It is going to make education outcomes suffer. It is going to remove access from the ordinary Ghanaian, and everything will be turned upside down. I wish they will not get to that. But the key thing specifically is that, one of the key terms of reference that was given to the committee was to set up education policy. And when the president gave the keynote address at the launch, that was the key thing he charged them to do. Moreover, we already have an education policy in this country. So the committee and the president ought to be advised that we already have a policy. We have education strategic plan that has been crafted and established in 2018, a year after President Akufo-Addo took office. He quickly set in motion his vision for education, free SHS, TVET, pedagogies, play-based pedagogies, innovative pedagogies, everything, infrastructure. He set it in motion. Then a year on, stakeholders were consulted, broader stakeholders were consulted. I mean, much broader than what they have put together that has, called for Catholic Bishop Conference exclusion. They were up in arms before they remembered that they play a key role in our education sector. Christian Council, many stakeholders have had to be up in arms. Those who don't want to hold press conferences to be heard are in their homes. But how can you have a proper stakeholder, forum when the likes of Professor Anamoah Mensah is not part, when Dr. Abeji, who is who is very, very renowned for TVET, doing so much across the continent, is not part, when the likes of Professor Adma Samoa, very renowned in STEM and engineering, are not part, and many names are left out. How do you convince me that this is properly, representing various views? But be that as it may, we already have education strategic plan spanning from 2018 to 2030, aligned with SDGs. So United Nations, UNESCO, UNICEF, and local development partners all came together and ascribed to this, set the framework for our education, so that successive governments will have to be guided by that, very comprehensive, touching on key outcomes from kindergarten, primary, JHS, SHS, TVET, tertiary, complementary education, getting out of school, improving various aspects of our education system, including infrastructure and innovative education financing. So if you have specific initiatives and innovations, what you do is that when you are voted for, you align it with the medium-term, plan contained in the education sector, and then start running with it. Every year, on November, every year, we set aside 1 week in every November to do National Education Week, where broader stakeholders came together, differences of opinion, to bring constructive criticism. Papers were presented, reviewing various aspects of our policies and programs, pointing us in the right direction, and sharing ideas. All that was done. So this is not the first time Education Forum is going to be held. However, the timing is wrong, because you set your vision in motion, align it with the Education Strategic Plan, then you can periodically have stakeholders to tweak it. But you have put aside your vision, for which 6.3 million people voted for you, and then you are saying that, well, professors put together something for me, and that is what I'm going to go with. One key thing is, you promise the people that you're going to expand free SHS to cover private students. Private schools, GI is a private school, Alpha Beta is a private school, St. Martin de Porres is a private school, Christian High is a private school, SO is a private school, Tama International School is a private school. We hope to see how you cover them, to be part of it. That was your promise. And that is exactly what we want to find expression in the budget. You promised that you're going to send every feeding disbursement straight, 100% to the schools, so that teachers and headmasters will have the idea, will have the resources to buy food. It's a fantastic idea. Go ahead and have those regular releases gone to them. We did 30% to them for perishables, and we ensured that 70% was supplied to them by buffer stock, because a lot of the food stuff in certain local communities, we may not have all. And so to relieve the stress on reneging on their core mandate of instructional leadership on campus, you don't turn them into purchasing officers. So we saw that, okay, perishables 30%, somebody will bring you 70%. But you say you want to give them 100% disbursement. That is what Ghanaians are expecting you. Go ahead and disburse. You also said that you will cancel double track the moment you come to power. You abolish double track so that everybody goes the same time, and then they all vacate the same time within the space available. We hope to see how that will be executed without compromising or sacking 500,000 students from schools. So you go ahead and you execute that. You also promised that in every student who gains admission to a tertiary institution will have their first year fees paid, the admission fee paid. And based on that promise, 6.3 million people have voted for you. Come in and pay for them. You could have even. I just want to go on this, and then I'll circle back to that. You could have, if you are truly committed to, going by that promise, you would have just engaged all the tertiary institutions and then mandate GTech to collate the enrollment, audit it, cost it, and then ahead of your budget, you engage them to say, we are deferring the payment of the tuition. This is how much we are indebted to, you are going to pay after our appropriation is passed. And then they will be having an expectation that every student who has been admitted will go in free, and then somewhere March, April, when the appropriation is passed, they will be reimbursed. That is what you would have done if you truly wanted to, go on that commitment. But you've set that aside. Now you've come in here and key proposals they have brought. One is targeted financing. They are saying, well, we will struggle to find 2.5 billion cedis to fund free SHS, and therefore we want to target. And that's okay. If you want to target,
who say they want to target?
That's the key. It was one of their key proposals that have come up so far from the.
You mean from the forum?
Absolutely. So the question you ask is, what criteria are you going to give to do the mean testing, and what criteria are you going to do to use to be guided to have the separation done? How will you determine a poor person from a rich person? Is it by the way they dress? Somebody may be well suited up, even in a Range Rover, to work every day. Their salaries pass through banks, so digitally you can have record on their earning level. But that person may very well even be renting a house built by my aunt, who is selling tomatoes on a pan at Makola or in Kejetia. But you look at her dressed, not in suits, not in ponds, not in makeup, and think that because of the informal nature of their job and the kind of work they're doing, they might be, they might need support. The vulcanizer, the mechanic out there, whose earnings do not pass through POS machine or pay through the bank, you might not have data sufficient to be able to put them in the right bracket. And so you are going to end up missing out on the actual principle for which you're targeting. You miss your targeting. Granted that they even get accurate criteria to target, to know the actual people who have to pay. The other question is that the so-called rich who pay taxes, out of which taxes free SHS is financed. Well, free SHS is financed from our taxes and from our oil revenues and other sources. And so the same people who are paying taxes, you are saying that they are not entitled to enjoy the program that their own taxes are financing. Fine. The third question we're asking is, if you're even able to have the people that genuinely need to pay, genuinely have offered to pay, for their awards, are they ready to pay to go to the kind of school I and Tim Fojo went to? I went to a Category C school, a village school, St. Mansour Secondary School, proudly. But when you talk to any professor, any elite, any political class, anybody who says, I am rich enough to pay for my award, why should you not allow me to pay? And why should my child be eating the kind of food she doesn't eat at home? When you ask them, are you ready to pay to go to St. Mansour? They will tell you no. Reserve Achimota for them, reserve Presec, reserve Adisado, reserve St. Louis, reserve Tamale Secondary, reserve Ghana Secondary School, reserve Prempe, Opokuware, and the rest. The top class schools is what they want to reserve for the elites. And then the system, very unfortunate system where in this country, a poor child from a poor home will obtain aggregate 6 from WASI. One desirous of pursuing medicine or law or business administration or engineering will not have what it takes, because too many people have had probably aggregate 6 or something, and they may not be able to have it. But there's a fee-paying window for that rich man's son who got aggregate 20 or 24, because he has the ability to pay. Fee-paying admission will be granted them. They will be pursuing medicine, law, they will be in the School of Business Administration and elsewhere.
Oh, that's your school on the screen.
Yes, that's the same as of my proud alma mater. Fantastic school. And so, are they ready to go there?
Are you reminiscing already?
Already. I mean, how many years
back
ago?
In the day.
About 25 years ago.
When you left
not too far. Yeah, so you are my senior. I know you are coming to that, so let me concede before you come in. So, are they ready to go there? No, they want to reserve the Category A schools for themselves, to play the elite system. The other thing they are talking about, so they will push out the poor from the good schools. But free SHS came in with equity, 30% equity, for hard to reach areas, underserved areas, and places where are considered poor, to have 30% spaces within category A schools so that the child of the poor, the child of the rich, all have access to quality education. That is going to be massacred. Now, the era where the son of the gateman or the watchman in a big corporation has the same hope and aspiration to be in the same class, studying with the child of the CEO of that corporation, is going to be massacred. But in every jurisdiction where free education has been practiced, 60 years, 50 years, 30 years, to transform their countries, there was no targeting. It was done across the board. There was nowhere. Canada, the poorest person in Canada may as well be among one of the richest in Ghana by standards. But whether you are rich or you are poor, many millionaires and billionaires, all of them have free education. So we should get it right and not go against that principle. The other key thing they are going to do is to bring back the cut-off system. And it's a major proposal on their table. The moment you bring back a cut-off system, you are putting in place a man-made barrier to prevent 150,000 data from today to be about 250,000, but we are yet to conduct that survey. But as of 2015 and 2016, the survey conducted indicated that every year, because of cut-off system, that put barrier to the admission of the progression of people from BEC to secondary schools. Every year, between 120,000 to 150,000 students could not go to SHS because, they have got aggregate 30-something, aggregate 40-something. But do you know, Mauro, that in 2019-2020, one, in Abri Girls, a real story, one Mrs. Fojo was the headmistress. There was an inspiring story of a young girl who got aggregate 44 at the time of entry from a village somewhere. And initially, the school authority almost resisted admitting. This is a top school, we don't admit such students. But because of the 30% equity, they were compelled to admit her. 3 years on, she sweeps 6 awards. 6 awards out of the 8 subjects. She sweeps all of that and becomes the best in the school. A young girl from a village whose hopes would have been dashed, who would have never had opportunity to ever go to even a category C school under NDC because of cut-off issues and because of other barriers, became the best student in the Brig Girls. And this inspiring story still remains. So if you want to bring back a cut-off system, you are going to ensure that about 200,000 students should stay home. In 10 years, we are going to accumulate 2 million people whose dreams have been cut off, whose opportunity to be for empowerment has been cut off and denied. The last thing I'll touch on and pause is the TVET initiative. They want to make sure that every category A school becomes a TVET school. The principle is not new because we already have 120 secondary technical schools in this country. In Fansipim, your neighbors, Adisadol, your neighbors are Fansipim. It's a secondary technical school. Ghana Secondary Technical School.
Actually, our arch rivals.
Arch rivals. Yes. I thought at this, St. Augustine's would have been your arch rivals.
No, Augustine's.
You normally align with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're buddies.
A very malicious alliance.
Anyway, that's another conversation for another day.
So, Infantsipim is SecTech, GSTS is SecTech, and many other schools are SecTech. They are SecTech because they have technical blocks, strong technical blocks. They have raised many engineers and many technicians, many technical people, because they already have it established. And when we took power, we retooled a lot of these secondary technical and even a technical institute. If you are going to turn PSEC into a SecTech, you cannot do so just by a stroke of a pen. You can't do technical education in a classroom. You need workshop, you need tools, you need equipment. Have they costed? How much is going to be required to be able to ensure that all these category A schools are converted into TVET? My initial estimations and costing I've done will require minimum 10 billion cedis. Minimum, at the minimum. 10, and the benchmark is from the retooling of TVET that was done within the 8 years of our time, based on that costing principle. It will cost them 10 billion cedis to be able to put every category A school in a shape that can offer technical education. Now, whilst I applaud that principle, because we're already doing it, do they have the funding required? They're already complaining that even raising 2.5 billion cedis to run free SHS They don't have the fiscal space for it. And so they must find alternative ways of financing, and some people must pay. So you are going to do cost sharing on 2.5 billion. You are up in arms, you can't find financing for it. Something somebody has financed for 8 years, you have it for only 4 years. You cannot finance 2.5 billion a year. How can you get money to the tune of 10 billion cedis to be able to retool secondary schools and convert them into technical schools so that on the same compound, technical education and grammar education can
but
be
why are you
time.
comparing a one-off payments to a recurring expenditure? I mean, 2.5 billion. I haven't heard any government official or government spokesperson say that the 2.5 billion cedis is not something that the government can shoulder.
No, they have said it's a key principle.
I don't have
2.5 billion for 4 years. It's 10 billion. No, but more. 2.5 billion.
Let's even assume without admitting that somebody at the Education Forum may have said that. It's a proposal.
No, it's a major contention they have put forth.
I'm saying it's a proposal. And if it's a proposal, government can either accept or reject it.
Very well.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that all these discussions in contest are proposals.
Yes.
But we're also minded that this agenda setting is not for no reason that public money, public funds is being used to put people in hotels, per diems. Huge sums are going to be expended on this forum.
It's not, it
is for agenda setting. And that agenda setting
hold on.
all play around these key proposals.
You have said that, in fact, the last time you came here, when this matter came up, you told me that it is not the first time these stakeholder consultations are being held. And that you have been doing it more consistently and more frequently.
We're not putting people in hotels.
Now, if somebody, well, we can talk about the modalities.
We're not paying.
No, hold on. We can talk about the modalities.
Absolutely.
That's separate. But I'm saying that the principle of doing broad stakeholder engagement, you're saying it's not new, right? It's not novel. And that you have been doing it much more than what we're seeing now.
Absolutely.
And I'm saying that if somebody also said to you at the time that broad stakeholder engagement that you're doing was actually meant to set a certain agenda, I don't think that you'd be happy.
Yes,
that's number one.
This is agenda setting because of the timing. Because we set out our programs and policies in place.
Okay.
And then we engage stakeholders to review.
Yes.
But you have not set out your program. You have set it aside.
But the NDC's
and you have asked that.
No, hold on. But the NDC's manifesto.
Professors should put it together and give you a vision. But we can go on that debate tomorrow.
The NDC's manifesto is there.
But specifically.
It's public record. We all can go and pick the manifesto and look at what the NDC is promising by way of its campaign message to Ghanaians. And which forms a social pact or a social contract with the people.
So why?
Now, if the party decides, if the party decides,
so why haven't they started right from day one?
But they have explained time and time and again, Reverend. I know you know. You know better. That this stakeholder engagement is not necessarily something that's supposed to start tomorrow.
He has his thesis.
No, medium to long term.
No.
It's almost like a vision.
Well, but
that's what I've heard.
Yes, that's your
opinion. It's almost like a vision.
And
where do we want our education to be in the future?
Very well, but Moro, let me land on this specifically on the funding. They themselves have put forth forcefully that they need to find a way to free space, and it's costing so much. And yesterday I was engaged with one of their committee members.
Okay.
He put for that because they cannot find financing
that
for
cannot be taken for NDC. That's an individual could be like.
There's an agenda for NDC to run.
Please.
2.5 billion a year for 4 years is 10 billion nominally. 10 billion. And even that you're struggling to finance it, for which you want to do targeting for some people to pay. Now, out of that, you are saying that just by TVET alone, putting it in secondary schools into TVET, you require minimum 10 billion.
But that's a one-off payment.
So when are you going to find that funding?
No, but that's one-off.
If you have it available, why would you want some people to pay?
So let's wait. The budget to be read soon.
Within 4 years, President Mahama has how many years? 4 years.
Yes.
Within that 4-year mandate, when are they going to begin the installations of these? And when will they start the...
so let's wait. The budget to be read
soon. The officialization.
Doc, would you want to have... I don't want to spend a lot of time.
It's okay. I think
the budget will be read soon. But I'm letting you know
almost 20 minutes.
This is just a
reading the thesis
to run away from their promises.
Please,
I
think he's read his thesis. More than 20 minutes. I think the panelists
every attempt.
It would be fair to him.
We will resist every attempt.
Okay.
We will resist every attempt to mutilate free SHS.
Oh,
to abolish free SHS.
You want to have a bite on this?
Yes, please. I have to.
Back
please.
Into,
thank you, Moro. It's good. It's good you have an opposition, but to start this way, the first, second month, when they have just formed cabinet, the Council of State has just come on, the budget has not yet been read. You don't try to put the cart before the horse. I think what he's doing is preempting and putting the cart before the horse, and you don't even know what the outcome would be. NDC has a track record of consulting Ghanaians. The Yentio syndrome that they had, and finally had the 38% in the last elections. We are not going to follow that. 38%. We are not going to.
Get your facts right.
We are not going to go by their policies, their principles.
Correct.
And then, please, can you allow me? We are talking. I was quiet. Please. When I finish, you can come in, please. Reverend, honorable member.
It's not 38%.
Honorable, please.
It's not 38%.
Yes. So right.
It's not 38%. I beg you.
Right. That's fine.
Yes.
38 point something.
It's not 38%.
That's fine. So if the government has just been formed.
You mean officially 38%?
Please. No, you see, they say we don't read.
Have you seen the EC
they don't read. And
do you have the EC
when you mention the figure, then they argue.
Do you have the EC gazetting?
EC's website, okay.
Yes.
You know, Annie says she'll settle the debate very soon, whether it's 38 or 40%. But please go ahead. We'll get it from the EC's official website.
I think let's be a little bit decorous. Let's be a little bit decorous. No, let's be a little bit decorous. Let's be a little bit decorous. Let me make my point. Let me make my point. NDC government promised to come and review senior high school and the educational system.
Yes.
Simply because Ghanaians had serious problems with it. And they accepted that proposal from His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC as a party and voted for us, and we have come in. We've come in, we can't just jump like a military officer in a parachute and just say, let's start doing this. And we propose of doing certain things. And what we are doing is something that we propose, national education dialogue. We also promise to have a national economic dialogue. All these things, we've done them before and we've had results, especially the Senchi. The Senchi Accord gave us at least the footing to come out of the crisis that we were. And in 2017, we saw the growth in the economy, which was based on the Senchi proposals and then the rest policies that came on.
That's not wrong.
That is true. Please, my friend.
Achieve anything.
It achieved a lot. So let me move. Now we have come and we are calling experts to come together. Help the government who wants to listen to the people, like the People's Manifesto we did. We went to the people. Let's get all stakeholders, even students, teachers, professionals in education, NGOs are all invited. One thing I will accept is that not everybody in Ghana can be invited to be part of it. I think if they invite him, he may not even go. Not everybody. But those who are there, they are equally competent like those that they invited to be there. So let's give reason to those who assembled the team and not be crying for others who are not there. This person is not there. The most important thing is that sit down and come out with a proposal that would improve policies, that will improve on the education educational sector of Ghana. One, people have complained of the quality. People have complained of the quality of education. University lecturers have written articles about students coming in with 6 A's and cannot in science and cannot write the symbol for water, the formula for water, which means that there are serious problems. We are not saying all the students are bad, but they are saying majority of them have challenges when they move to universities. Besides that, we are also seeing that the pre-secondary school, the day nurseries, the primary schools also have challenges. And I can bet you the free senior high school perhaps perpetuated the most injustice in this country when it comes to resourcing. Let me tell you why.
Why?
The good people of Garwe and Timpani, they said they enjoyed free senior high school. Let me tell you, they didn't even have chairs to sit on to write. Serious injustice. Whilst other schools had all the furniture and were even given iPads. So do you think the people of Garu would endorse the free senior high school to stay the way it was? Some schools were given free iPads. He's sitting here as the minister, former minister.
So how was that a creation of PSHS?
No, you see, you are giving some people, you are giving advantage to others. And I'm sure that is the complaint people.
That was lacking. How was that?
That is, can you let me finish? You can come in and rebut it.
Yes.
I am talking of some people consider the free senior high school not to be fair, not to be equitable, and not to be rolled out evenly for everybody to compete in the educational sector. It empowered others more than others. Some people may complain about the food, some may complain about teachers, but I'm giving you why some people in communities that I know are not in favor of the way and manner the free senior high school was rolled out. It was rolled out to disadvantage them. How can that student in Garu Senior High School and Timpani Senior High School write an exams with their additionals? When they have chairs to sit, they have good teachers to be there, they have even free iPads, and come and write computer exams with them. How are they going to improve? That is why this a national dialogue on education is being called, to look at everything holistically, not only the numbers. But no one has said that he's going to sack people from attending free senior high school. If the government says that they are going to add TVET to all schools, why are you worried? Everything was not done once. When you came with free senior high school, you didn't come with a budget. Even Akufo-Addo himself didn't know the budget. But we have decided that, the NDC has decided that, let's have a dialogue.
We had a budget, we had costing properly done.
Akufo-Addo sat in BBC and said he didn't know the budget.
No.
Please, it is on record.
That's wrong.
So,
that's
and even now, if you had a budget, why is it?
We still 2017, at the time we started implementing.
If you had a budget, if you had a budget.
No, but we are talking about, is NDC not in power?
Okay.
Excuse me.
So we shouldn't compare apples to oranges.
We are not comparing. We are just in the initial stage of our government, and we are setting up the ball rolling. First of all, do the needed consultation, because wisdom doesn't lie in one man's head. We bring in those who are actually not strong NDC members to be part of this, to give us the real understanding of what the people really want. Instead of doing it there in Ethiopia, that is what we are doing. Look, saying that we are going to cut off people from enrolling.
It's your own proposal.
No, it is not a proposal. Have you had any official report coming from the National Educational?
Yes,
you don't have any official report. Please, let me finish. Please be gentle enough.
TV station.
Please be gentle enough.
Reverend,
what you are doing is rude.
Yes.
It's rude. You are very rude.
Reverend, please
you are a reverend and honorable, a pastor.
Reverend, so if you are struggling to make your point.
I'm not struggling.
Reverend,
you can say I'm struggling. You came here. You came here with a thesis. You came here with a thesis, reading all what you want. You can't preempt what we are going to do when we are just 1 month.
Please go ahead.
One month in power.
Documents.
Right.
Speak with facts, not thesis.
The forum is supposed to come out with modalities on how equity will be seen in the educational sector and how improvement in quality would be achieved.
Okay.
That is what it is meant for. If we promise that we are going to give 100% of the feeding and everything in running the schools to the teachers, we have the right. Do you know why? Why do you want to go and buy rice in Navrango, come and store it in Accra, in the buffer house, and transport it back to Garu, when you can easily do it there? Why do you want to buy oil when we have oil in Boku and give it from Accra and give it to somebody to bring there? You are costing double expenses.
So go ahead.
It's not fine. We will do it. Let them come out with the modalities and we'll do it. Already the government has shared food and has asked them to release funds for these senior high schools to feed. 2.something million for every school has been given out. And they are running it and no one has complained.
2.1 million for every school.
So please, we are working according to what we plan. You cannot determine what you are thinking that the results would be and be complaining. It is not easy for you to leave your ministry and be in opposition. Definitely you come here and make the statements that you want. But what I can tell you is that in 8 years, what you did, people didn't like it. They voted for a government to come and reset the educational sector. And we have chosen people, we've selected people who are competent enough to give us a good implementation policy to roll out a better free senior high school. No one is going to cancel it. If your definition for reviewing, like you all say all the time, that is going to be cancelled, I think we better go back to the dictionary and get elementary school students to give you a definition of review and definition of cancel.
All right.
Then you understand. Students are going to enjoy free senior high school in a better way under NDC, and I know it's going to be done. The government is trying to limit wasteful resources, and I think, look, we've wasted so much money in unnecessary things, and students in free senior high school are suffering. People could not even get a good chair to sit to learn, and they are coming to structure it very well and come out with a policy that will improve it. And you are saying what? We should listen to policies that you do. If your policies were good in 8 years, you would have won the elections. But they were willfully rejected, and you were chased out of government. Allow us to implement it. Give us a year alone and see. You can't start today complaining of somebody who has just taken a stool to sit as a chief.
All right.
So we have just come into power, and we are doing the right thing.
We need to take a break. No, I beg you. We need to take a break. Otherwise, we'll take us off. When I come back after the break, I have both.
I will just quickly respond.
Because we don't want to really litigate this because of time.
If your government was President Mahama was even sitting president when he lost by 1 million votes.
Reverend, let's not really litigate.
And you said it. You said things about him that you lost with 1 million. So we also say that you lost over.
When I come back,
so it's neither here nor there.
Guys, I beg you. When I come back,
you came and cancelled progressively free senior high school.
So when I come back,
complete free senior high school, and you failed abysmally.
I have both good and bad news, and it's good news because there's a 10% pay rise. That one will put some smiles on the faces of my guests who are here. You know, it's 10% increment in the base pay. But the bad news is that our economy has been run like a criminal gang, or it's been criminally mismanaged, according to the president, John Dramani Mahama. When we come back, we'll look at why the president said that, and we'll look at what the president intends to do going forward to fix the mess. We'll take a short break. This is Good Morning Ghana. We'll be right back.
A lot of stuff in the Ghanaian press want to know is where exactly is the money going to come from next time around, if you're in power, for some of the very extravagant promises you've made. You, for example, have offered free secondary schooling for all Ghanaians, a promise you say you absolutely will deliver in 4 years in power. So have you costed it? How much will it cost?
The costing is being done. I mean, very, very soon we will be in a position.
You can't make a promise like that.
No. Very soon we're going to be putting it. I prefer.
You don't know how much.
I do know, but I prefer to tell the Ghanaian people directly before I tell you.
Many of them can't talk. You can tell me, and
it doesn't matter. I would prefer to make that statement to the people of Ghana directly first. As to the cost, and any
so you do know the cost?
Oh, we do, and we have a very good idea how also we're going to finance it.
Well, you're obviously not going to give me the figures, but just tell me how you're going to pay for it. It's clearly going to be a very great cost. You've got to train the teachers, you've got to build new schools.
All of that has been adequately costed, and we believe that first of all, the new revenues will help, more efficient management of what we have now, growth in the Ghanaian economy. These are the three sources which are going to enable us to fulfill that promise. And it's a promise that has been solemnly made to the Ghanaian people, and it's going to be solemnly kept. Not because it's a campaign promise, but because it is a necessity for the future of our country, to educate all our young people, and not to acquiesce in a situation whereby only segments of the community that have some money are able to educate their children.
It's a
major issue of human capital development.
Indeed.
And if we do not make the effort to achieve that, the development path.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fat missy way.
Prepare bantama.
My chest.
That's a cycle.
It's her smile, the fresh breath.
Me, Gidi said we use Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind. Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector. Onim jom kasa. Ile kosen. Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint, gives me fresh breath, and your confidence booster.
You will see feeling when you Cal 360 toothpaste. Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Who are you? You. Charlie, I'll be you from the future. Who doesn't sleep on that slice of bready for mattress anymore? Don't some sleepers then follow me.
It is part of mattress we did it from there.
Yeah?
Happiness mattress where they dead for time.
Wait, what are you doing? Wow! No damage at all. Not only durable, but also super comfortable. Come on, try it.
Nothing day like ash foam. Enjoy full body support and unparalleled comfort for a restful sleep.
Don't forget your keys.
Get the premium sleep experience with mattresses from Ash Foam. Visit any of our showrooms nationwide or at ashfoam.com.
Fire pomudi ni agobi Ghana fueni age efi say ya your local spices na ya frafra dia ya sankofa natural spice
me de go me jollof mu ni mi still ahodoma e ma ne dance
Stanley the barbecue they go on
sankofa natural spices and one you use 100% natural said the yepen
Adofo mamunye huge mistake sankofa natural spices the
FDA agi ejedi nkratu yatu.
You the answer to my prayers. You with me everywhere. You're my angel, miracle. You're all I need tonight. Give me shelter from the rain. You breathe life in me again. You're my angel, miracle. You're all I need to know. Tonight.
All right, welcome back to Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. It's been very interesting. We're having a conversation about the National Education Dialogue. It wasn't actually meant to be our main conversation, but it was just an aside. Unfortunately, it's degenerated. So, Reverend, if you can just do the wrapping up in just 2 minutes, because we don't have all day.
So a quick one. My good friend says that if we did something right, would we have lost? I grant him that, but he must also know that if we did everything right, would we have lost? But he must also realize that even President Mahama was president at the time, he lost woefully. At the time, it was the worst defeat any sitting president has ever had. And so now the cutoff, just to inform Doc, his own people they put together are putting forward this proposal. Right. It's not somebody's creation. They have advocated it. They are bringing back cutoff system to deny over 200,000 every year from going to access. And the 2.5 million that the Honorable Dr. Anabak claims that have been disbursed to schools is totally false. No single school has received even $1 million. The highest some schools have received, they received for all this while is 150,000, in some cases 120,000. Schools with very high enrollment did not even cross 200,000 brackets. For you to sit here to lie that 2.5 million each has been released to schools. Then again, on the unfortunate issue at Garu as a Timpani SHS, it's just unfortunate if for some reason they had challenges with furniture that did not come to our attention, because any school that had challenges with furniture that came to our attention in any way or form, whether through the regional directors, sometimes even journalists bring some of these very dire situations to our attention, received support. As a matter of record, within the period, 870,000 pieces of furniture were supplied to our secondary schools. And so that has to be on record. And I must say that if you cannot fund free SHS for 4 years, then you must be grateful to the government that showed priority and funded it for 8 years.
Moro, I think that I, personally, on my Facebook, if you go there, countless basis, put Garo Independent Free Senior High School on my Facebook.
Did you bring it to my
attention? It was even picked in news. Even Kelvin Taylor took it up.
But
sitting on the floor, the education director is aware.
Yeah.
Look,
go to the right, you suppress
the directors. You suppress them.
Instead of you to come and engage me, you are going to Kevin Taylor. You see the kind of
No. He picked it from my social media page.
What Kevin Taylor do for you?
He has done a lot. And actually, he has done a lot for Ghana, and we have to praise him. Let me substantiate something.
We are talking
saying
about
that we don't have a budget. Saying that we don't have a budget for free senior high school or the education sector. We can't have a budget for it if statistics, data is not correct. The data that the educational sector was giving about free senior high school is absolutely wrong. They were talking of 5-something million.
Nobody gave you.
And now they are now talking of 3-something. So we need to get the real data to be able to calculate. Data. Thankfully, the educational dialogue they are having with the experts involved, they will be able now to structure and calculate the budget. And we can roll it out successfully.
What he doesn't know is that 80% of the people put in the committee
litigate over this. We're going to spend the whole day.
We were part of all the stakeholder consultations we've ever had.
So some of our viewers have been sending us messages. I'll just read 3 of them, then we can move on to 10% pay rise for government workers. Now, educational system got downgraded under the watch of Intim Fojo and his ministers from 2017 to 2024. I am so gobsmacked listening to his justification of destroying the standard of education. Some teachers told me about the difficulties, including students not taking studies seriously because they won't be failed per government directives and mass promotions. My ward used less than 15 months to complete a 3-year SHS program. How is this supposed to be applauded? Another one went to school for just 1 month and came on almost 4 months holidays. Reverend should stop his media tour to disrespect and continue to insult our intelligence. I used to respect him a lot.
That's false. That's false. Let me
but it appears that he's losing touch with time.
No, that is false.
Let me finish this. Please.
We have to move on.
Good morning, please. So your very good friend, Kojo Chumwafu. He says, good morning, sir. Please, Reverend Intim Fojo has said that the MPP didn't get 38% in the last election. Obviously, he didn't learn how to approximate on mathematics when he attended free SHS. and they realized the problem. All he's doing is disrupting the program. The something that they always exhibit, the same reason why they got an approximation of 38% in the last election, so the conduct that you've been exhibiting. Let me just end with this one, and then we can move on to our next topic, because we don't want to... We don't want to just...
No, but quickly.
Oh, no, we don't have
to... We always want to do a rebuttal.
He's talking about
figures. Hold on. He says...
He's talking about quality that they claim is declining.
No, hold on. It says, in my constituency, MP and former Deputy Minister say, Professor Namwa Mensah and those he mentioned are the only educationists in the country whose absence would make the process unsuccessful. What became of the Namwa Mensah committee report occasioned by Kufuor under their own administration? Again, he's talking about figures and estimates. How on earth could he superintend on a ministry that gave us a wrongful figure of beneficiaries of free SHS for 7 years, only to admit the fact on the real figure after losing power? His lies can't be trusted with any useful suggestion to make education better in Ghana. So this one is from a law lecturer. It's called Sechiba Kranche. So the other ones are personal. I don't like to read.
Quickly.
I don't like to read personal.
Contact hours. Do you know that under the free SHS, one may have issues about how long they come home at a particular time, but all in all, for one academic year before the introduction of free SHS, contact hours per semester was 1,080 hours.
Okay.
And for the 3 years, one would have had 3,240 hours of contact hours. Under free SHS, that people, without being informed, criticize, we increase the contact hours per academic year to 1,134. And for the 3-year period, 3,402.
That is on paper. That is on paper.
So
in actual sense, it doesn't happen.
In 2015,
that is on paper.
So
we are talking of actual contact hours. We can talk on education alone here.
Peoples in this country
who have time
were able to read. We increase it to
go to the dialogue and bring these.
So Daily Graphic. Let's start.
Let him go to the dialogue. Let him go to the dialogue and profess his proposals.
So this record is bizarre. But he must be aware that when I'm heckling him, he shouldn't.
No. You heckled me. You heckled me throughout. You heckled me throughout. I've been so calm when you were talking.
Has announced a pay rise for government workers. Minimum wage is now 19.997 cedis. And the story is, so if you look at page 3, but I'll start here. So Emmanuel Boni is reporting that the government and organized labor yesterday agreed on a new base pay of 10% across the board for workers in the public sector. Now, the development means that all public sector workers on a single spine salary structure will have an increment in their basic salaries by 10% from January to December this year. In addition, the National Tripartite Committee also set the national daily minimum wage at 19.97. This implies that any Ghanaian earning salary or, it continues on page 3, or allowance, including house helps, that's nannies and guards, must not be paid less than that in a day, or 559.16 a month, that's cedis, a month, using 28 days. Now, in determining the 2025 national daily minimum wage, which is the NDMW, the NTC, that's the Tripartite Committee, made up of government side, employers and organized labor, took into account the current economic challenges, cost of living, sustainability and business, and desirability of attaining a higher level of employment. President John Dramani Mahama was at yesterday's NTC meeting held at the Ministry of Labor, Jobs and Employment yesterday. Now, before attending the cabinet first meeting, President Mahama joined the NTC meeting and intervened when the discussions came to a head. The president urged Labour to consider the dire state of the economy as the parties proceed with the wage negotiations. He promised that if the economy bounced back, he would ensure higher remuneration for workers. President Mahama also spoke about the need to establish the Independent Emoluments Committee to determine the income of public sector workers. Now, so it says the agreement on the base pay on the single salary structure was signed by the Minister of Finance, Dr. Keslato Bafos, and the Minister of Labour, Jobs and Employment, Dr. Abdul Rashid Hassan Pelpuo, and the Chief Executive Officer of the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission. Now, you juxtapose the story by what is contained in today's Herald newspaper. And the Herald newspaper today, good. It says that Mahama uncovers Akufo-Addo's criminal mishandling of economy, but gives state workers 10% increment effective next month. Now, it says that President John Dramani Mahama strongly criticized the previous Akufo-Addo administration, accusing it of criminally mishandling the economy. Mahama expressed shock at the economic mismanagement he has uncovered, asking, how can a government be so reckless? I cannot understand, he added, while speaking at the National Tripartite Committee meeting at the Ministry of Labour, Jobs and Employment. At a meeting, the government announced the 10%, so he goes on and on and on and on and on and on. And so he's asking labor unions to be moderate in their wage demands for 2025, and that he's prepared to walk this journey with them. Of course, the president doesn't give us details on what he has uncovered, but some will say, must he? I mean, aren't we all privy to what the situation is? So I'll start with Dr. Anaba. 10%, is it enough?
I think 10% is an increment.
Okay.
It's an increment. We've not left it where it was. The economy is hard, and the whole country knows it's hard. And that was at least approved during the elections, that the economy is hard. They need to change a different manager. We have come in, and then a lot of things are being discovered. And from what we know in this country, even our credit rating has gone so low that we can't even go out to borrow. We're trying to raise funds and also block the loopholes of all the leakages. Describing it like a crime, the economy to be like a crime that was organized in the past government. Certainly, there are a lot of evidence to show that even a layperson would understand that it was actually a criminal gang that was running this country's economy. And there are litany of examples we can talk about. Isn't it criminal for government to spend the millions that we don't have in going into a deal to build a SkyTrain which never came to fruition? Have we had a SkyTrain in Ghana? That money is gone, isn't it?
Right.
Have they refunded the money? We are still looking for it. So it was criminal. Let's talk about cathedral. Somebody, an architect, was paid huge sums of money for the design. When we know that you take about 5% of the cost of the project, this person was paid in excess and money dumped into the cathedral. And up to date, we don't have anything there but a swimming pool, which is not even healthy for human beings to swim in. Haircuts. What is more criminal than somebody to save his retirement benefits into a fund which you come and slice it and take it off and tell them that wait in some number of years before you can even get the initial capital you invested? People have died out of that. What is more criminal than that? PDS. You saw John Jinapo on TV this morning talking about how PDS was padded with almost $800 million. We lost the Millennium Compact grant that they were giving to us, and that was taken away, and we couldn't even strengthen the energy sector. It was meant to really strengthen the energy sector, the transmission, to make sure it is stable. Then we don't have losses. Out of their criminal act, they couldn't execute it. We couldn't also improve upon the transmission system of ECG, of GridCo, and we haven't incurred a lot of losses, almost 40% of losses in transmission. What is more criminal than that? What is more criminal than a government to be able to make 700 billion Ghana cedis and have very little to show? Where has all that money gone to? That's why I think some of us think that the definition of what really happened to Enekome was like a criminal activity on our lives. Health. We have health that needs money to improve on the system. We have a levy for it, National Health Insurance Levy. This is taken, and the minister decides we'll cap it. Don't give them all the money. Give the rest to us to do whatever we want with it. And hospitals are suffering. All that money, we don't know what they have used it. They have not used it to build hospitals. They have not used it to do anything with it. Even the hospital they attempt to build, they've not even gone anywhere. Where has all that money gone? And we are suffering today. COVID that came with benefits to Ghana, COVID, that came with benefits to Ghana. Anybody who is arguing should look at the data. The minister himself budgeted 12.something billion to handle COVID. All the resources they had to handle COVID was more than 20-something billion. The money was shared to party members, according to the Sanargo parliamentary candidates, to do whatever they want with it, to play politics with it. They went and hired a very big building, uncompleted building at Adakulu, to quarantine COVID-19 cases, and not a single patient was put into it. Waste of money. This is criminal. So if the president defines the activities that went under Akufo-Addo in the economy as a criminal activity, I think he didn't miss words at all. He had a true definition for it. Right now, you see, recently, national security busted so many people with gold and all those things, with so much money. We have reports that if in Dubai, the gold that is in Dubai from Ghana, if you calculate it and see the benefit we are getting, the taxes we are getting from gold in Ghana, it means that people are flying out gold from Ghana, which should have been taxed for us to make money. And how can they do that? Through connivance, because they can't leave the airport or leave the seaport without national security tracking them. All these things were criminal activities. So I think that our economy actually suffered under the past government. If you check, everybody in Ghana knows who was benefiting from all the monies we borrowed. Ken Oforiatta. For negotiating for loans, you have a percentage. And borrowed loans that were not even used for anything.
You have degenerated the conversation.
No. I'm explaining why John Dramani Mahama defined the economy as being handled as a criminal.
Degenerate the discussion.
I'm not degenerating.
You let him land.
I'm not degenerating.
Let him land.
So please, let me finish my ideas and you can bring your thoughts and let it bear onto Ghanaians. So I'm telling you that...
That's not a standard.
You can't define standards for me. I have my standards, you have your standards. I define my standard traditionally, you define your standards the way you want. I go the way I think that I should explain to Ghanaians how they should understand.
Please go ahead.
The whole thing.
Don't mind Reverend. Don't mind Reverend. Sometimes he wants to. Sometimes he wants to be mischievous. Don't mind it. Please go ahead.
So
let them change you.
You see, we've borrowed so much money and we've not invested it in anything. As I was saying, if they had invested the money into very good ventures, like John Mahama did, today our tribal guys, look at how we are benefiting from it. Is it not a good thing? Can you call this criminal? Ajapadie, we spend so much money paying consultants for Ajapadie. Where is that money? We can't trace it. So it is a perfect definition of what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama spoke about, the way the economy was handled. Okay. People have become so enriched, very few have become so rich that the people are suffering from social injustice, like what I've just cited in Garu. If all these monies were there, I think my school in Garu, they could have also enjoyed from a tablet, they could have enjoyed from the furniture, they could have enjoyed from boreholes. The Garu hospital could have been completed, but up till now they are not completed. Meanwhile, people have so much wealth out of the criminal activities that they perpetuated in the economy in the past government.
Okay, thank Moro.
Reverend.
I'm hoping to see Garu Secondary School seen revamp after 4 years.
Exactly.
We'll go there and check.
That's fine.
And we'll hold him to account.
Sure.
But if this is how Dr. Anaba, who previously was highly respected, will go, because he has joined politics, then you give him 3-4 months, there'll be nothing left of the kind of integrity and credibility people accorded him, and his own constituents accorded him.
Why do you
That is your assessment.
The degeneration of the conversation. This is Good Morning Ghana.
That is your assessment.
You can go on Radio Good. You can go on.
No, I go on every
some
radio.
other radio stations.
I go on Joy. I go on all TV stations.
But this is Good Morning Ghana.
I think that to be fair.
The conversation, and you never interjected him.
No.
You never interjected him.
Do you know why?
For a second.
Do you know why?
You never interjected him.
Do you know why?
I have not even started my submission.
No, do you know why?
I'll give you
one of the principles that I hold is that when we start a conversation, let's depersonalize it.
That's it.
If you have, did he not personalize things?
No. What I'm saying,
not personalize any?
Hold on.
Every statement he made, calling people criminals,
hold on.
was not personal.
He didn't mention anybody.
He mentioned names.
No, he didn't mention anybody.
I'm just saying.
Oh yes, I mentioned it. It's a fact.
No, hold on. I'm just saying that. No.
Enterprise.
No, you don't get a point.
The man
data bank.
Remember, you don't get a point. No, you don't get a point.
I've mentioned. If you think I have something wrong, you can take it out.
The two of you are sitting here. No, I said the two of you are sitting here. We're having a conversation.
I've not.
If you have an opinion,
you are attacking John Mahama's personality, and you think we shouldn't.
No, I beg you.
Please.
No.
The man is sitting here. I respect him so much, so let's respect each other.
He has stated his opinion.
Yes.
On
what
he thinks about the economy.
Yes.
So if you can attack the issues,
devoid
of attacking him as a person.
I've not attacked him.
No, you have. You are attacking my personality.
You are rather degenerating the conversation.
No. You are attacking my personality. I didn't attack your personality when you're talking on education.
I kept quiet.
Please.
I kept quiet.
You didn't. You interrupted me 2 times. You didn't keep quiet.
Degenerated the conversation.
You interrupted me twice.
I can indulge him. I can tolerate this.
Once you don't want it, let's not do it to him.
I can tolerate this.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
So let him keep interjecting. I can tolerate this.
Please, let's go.
Now,
we don't have all day. Yes.
I have so much respect for a president of my country. He might be from another party, but he's the president of my country. And therefore, however the disagreement I have with him, I'll be very measured in the way I express my contrary opinion about his thoughts.
Yeah.
The words coming out from President Mahama, which has given impetus for others to go around saying all kinds of despicable things, is truly unprecedented. If there's anything that can be called presidential loose talk, this is a typical one. It is highly unprecedented. We in Parliament, even as members of Parliament, who may be deemed as may not be as superior as the office of the president, have standards. And we have parliamentary words and standards in our speech. The Speaker of Parliament will not even grant just any utterance at all. And therefore, it is expected that once one becomes president, campaign is over, gallery speeches are over, and it is expected that your words become seasoned with salt. A whole president goes to describe a country that he is managing, a country that every word he speaks is a signal in the international system to the financial markets, to investors, and you were able to describe your country as one that is a criminally, managed economy. We are in a country where this same president has come to free 12 high-profile cases, very criminal charges against them, facing prosecutions, haven't come to free them. People who were alleged to have committed serious financial crimes.
Alleged.
Yes, alleged. And I'm using my word advisedly. I will not degenerate into any loose talk. You see, alleged to have perpetrated criminal acts, financial crimes, financial losses, embezzlement, misappropriation, and all sorts, huge billions. He has come to clear all of them. And now he has the opportunity to speak to Labour, because you cannot meet how President Akufo-Addo pampered the Ghanaian worker, and therefore you come in and you must denigrate his legacy. The criminally managed economy is the economy that bequeathed $9 billion to President Mahama in gross international reserve. Way higher than the $6.2 billion inherited in 2017. The economy that President Mahama claims is criminally managed is the economy that ensured that trade balance had surplus of $3.5 billion, as against his very mediocre legacy of a deficit of $1.8 billion, from a deficit of $1.8 billion compared to a surplus of $3.5 billion. That is the kind of economy he has words to describe, unspeakable words to describe. Now, the economy that President Mahama claims was criminally managed is the economy that bequeathed to him overall GDP growth rate of 7.2% as of Q3 of 2024, as against his record of 3.9% in between 2013 and 2016. This is the economy compared to his aggregate GDP growth of 2.8%, grew by aggregate to all the way 5.9% by Q3 of 2024. Per capita income under his sacrosanct so-called regime was 5,933, compared with 24,544 cedis, from 5,933 to 24,544 between 2017 and 2023, per capita income. Budget deficits in President Mahama's so-called sacrosanct regime was deficit 6.7% of GDP, compared to 3.4%, half of that. Now, that economy that he has words, unspeakable words to describe, was able to afford the Ghanaian worker in 2017 12.5% increment in salary. 2018, 11% increment. 2019, that was even deemed as one of the least, 10%. 2020, 15%. 2021, 4% plus 15% interim premium. 2022, 15% COLA on base salary. 2023, 30%. The economy he has words to describe is the economy that was able to afford 30% increment on salaries to our cherished public sector workers. 2024, we had the first part, January to June, base pay increased by 23%, and the second half, between July to December, 25%. That is what will bequeath to President Mahama. And so if you cannot and will not be able to meet the high standards of priority, of respect, and of utmost importance we attach to the welfare of the Ghanaian worker, respecting their sweat and the sacrifices they put in, contributing to productivity, and we thought it important to give them, we thought it deserving of them to have 30% pay increase, 23%, 25% pay increase just in the last 6 months. You come in to do a paltry 10%. And with that paltry 10%, you want people to clap for you and to smear the great legacy you came to inherit. My surprise, my brother, is that out of this, the president has demonstrated serious disrespect for the Ghanaian working population. Why do I say so? You have come to revoke over 20,000 public sector workers' appointment, most of whom date way back as of September and October, at which time election had not even been held. You can even have a debate of post-December 7th recruitment. It's another debate. They sent their own government spokesperson at the time, on my good friend and my neighbor, Honorable Kwachio Fosu, in 2016 and 2017, during the transition, to say that when the government has not handed over by January 7th, they are still government and they have the power to appoint, they have the power to recruit. What changed? So that debate can even be had on the category of persons employed or recruited between December, legitimately so recruited. Let us look at a chunk of over 23,000 public sector workers that were recruited. Granted, we even have a problem with that. What about those recruited in September and October? Numbering over 23,000, you have revoked all of them. Instead of you to create jobs, you are rather revoking jobs. Create new ones. Your 24-hour economy, create it. Now, the hypocrisy, and I use the word advisedly, some section of the organized labor, is that even in the face of 30% salary increment in 2023, some unions and some sections of organized labor were up in arms, called the government all kinds of names. They were expecting so and so. They were expecting this, they were expecting that, and even described the 30% as paltry. That same economy. Now they are offering you 10%. You should see some of their faces when the meeting was going on. And right after that, they go on radio, on TV, and I was so appalled. Some, and I use the word advisedly, some of them, rather than speaking for the Ghanaian worker with the same energy they spoke when President Kufuor was in power, have suddenly become government spokespersons. And rather, who criticized 30%, have rather gone to town, radio to radio, TV to TV, advocating for President Mahama and justifying why the paltry 10% offered by President Mahama is even more superior and reasonably acceptable. But these same people have reason to tweet, to post on Facebook, and to grant interviews, and said all manner of things about 30% increments that were offered. So, if President Mahama...
So what are you suggesting?
So unpresidentially...
What are you suggesting?
So unpresidentially, he is a president. If he uses unpresidential words, and you are a member of parliament or party apparatchik, and you also decide to go to town, remember, he is president. And so, if he has even said those things, you would taint your own reputation repeating those words. Because even he himself, when he watches that video, he's a communicator, great communicator. When he watches playback of that video, he would say, if I have the opportunity, I would have withdrawn this. I wouldn't have said these things. Whatever the situation that might have been briefed to him, he would not use these words. If he has the opportunity to speak again, he himself will review his communication. I'm sure by now he has been bombarded with lots of good advice from his advisors. That your goodwill, that is embodied in the 6.3 million votes, which my brother can give us 38%. You, Moro and Annie can give us 28%. Whatever figure you give us, we accept it. Whatever figure you give us, we accept it.
No.
But
there's a very serious allegation against myself.
You haven't been generous in giving us a high percentage.
You've not been fair to us.
But whatever percentage you give us, Moro, we accept it. But there's a reason why, to whom much is given, much is expected. So if anyone thinks that because someone has goodwill, they can go about making past unpresidential remarks, it won't be long. There will be serious erosion of all that goodwill. And we will get back to the same electorates. These were the same electorate that voted 1 million excess a certain president out. And on another occasion, thought that that same person must come back with over 1.5 million excess. The same people. It depends on how you speak, you handle certain things, and for what it's worth. For me, it is good for us that he is speaking this way and going about eroding his goodwill this way. But for what it's worth, if succession is something that is important, and I give this advice both ways, he would have to check how he speaks. But my problem here is that organized labor, they have been so quiet.
He will land the next
Over 23,000 people have been illegitimately revoked. The appointment have been revoked. No single strike, apart from the nursing and registered nursing and midwives.
You keep saying their posture has changed.
I'm coming. It's because
why?
I don't want to be. Well, I'm not president. I don't want to be unparliamentary. I don't want to do anything that affronts the standard of Good Morning Ghana.
So let's end it here.
For the respect of our viewers,
end it here.
I would not even want to. But I'm saying that the unions
I don't want you to sound
quiet.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but they have gone quiet. They have not even threatened any action. And they have rather turned into government advocates. At times when 23,000 jobs have been unfairly revoked, this is the time you fight for them. This is the time that you send strong signals. Apart from Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwifery Association, who threatened strike and got the Minister of Health to sit and to backtrack concerning things. Come to the teacher unions. Have the teacher Grassack and TEU concerned teachers, NATS, apart from the NATS president, who I had an interview, show some concern. But even that concern is not, as I wanted. The rest have rather even become advocates. So, Ghanaian workers, let us tighten our belts for the next 4 years because you have no voice. The voice have suddenly turned. The voice that was speaking for the Ghanaian worker has turned their back on the Ghanaian worker. Accepting 10% as superior to 30%.
Labor is entitled to be impressed.
And 25%.
Or disappointed in government. It's something they're entitled to.
No, but what I'm saying is that have you checked the shocking
but they're entitled to it.
That over 23,000 workers have been sacked and nobody is speaking for them at the labor front.
Let me bring it up.
And 10% is applauded.
Doc, what have you done? What have you done to labor to make labor all of a sudden fall in love with you, as Reverend has said?
Oh, they know what they've done. But this stomach direction,
all of a sudden labor has fallen in love with you. Why?
This stomach agenda.
Labor hasn't fallen in love.
This stomach direction is dangerous for our labor front.
Labor hasn't fallen in love with government. Look, transparency builds confidence. If you are transparent with people and you will tell people tighten your belt and tighten your belt, they will do so. I think the president, ever since he took over power, has been able to demonstrate to the Ghanaian people that I'll do what I tell you to do. So he promised to make sure he used Ghanaians' money judiciously. He has come and he has stayed focused, and that is what he's doing. They are reviewing the economy to see what we have in the coffers. And if you put it before labor, labor cannot tell you to jump somewhere and go and bring money and increase our salaries. Labor cannot do that. When they took over, when NDC took over in 2008, Kufuor signed the single spine salary structure on 6th January 2001. And NDC had to implement it. It means that we work for Ghanaian workers. we have come to government and we have realized that the economy is not on a good footing. All those who are participating with government in these salary negotiations have seen the statistics, have seen the data.
The data is what I put for. Look.
Please, he has put the data. I'll come to that. Have seen the data. And they've all agreed. Are you telling us that labor cannot reason for themselves? Or you think when they do that and go back, their staff would allow them, their members would allow them to sit happily? No, they took into consideration what was transparently put before them. You put on very beautiful statistics here to praise your government. What is statistics about having over 8 billion trade balance? Then you come and do a haircut. What is the statistical importance of it? If you know you have enough money, why do you do a haircut? You've destroyed the country's economy to an extent that you even have to do haircut and send pensioners to their graves early. And you're coming to give me these figures that you have left $8 billion as trade balance. Yes, every government that leaves power, they leave a positive trade balance, and it's always increasing. No, go and check the statistics.
You had a deficit of 1.8
billion. How much did Kufuor leave? Ask yourself, how much did Kufuor leave? The economy is growing. Our export is growing. So you don't. No. But why did you do haircut? Did NDC leave a haircut when we were leaving power? They didn't leave a haircut. You are talking of people being sacked. Who has sacked somebody? I want Honorable Fojo to provide a document or list of people indicating that this number of people have been sacked. But I'm going to list to him people who have been sacked unfairly under his government when they came to power. The one sitting here, myself, Dr. Thomas Winslow Manaba. I'm sympathizing with them. But they are saying no. You see, when NDC tries to correct the mess, the wrong, you people come and perpetuate it. So you let it become a convention,
you say you were sacked,
which is not good.
And
so if Muhammad's government is saying that all those who were employed after 7th of December should hold on, let them check to see if anybody was not properly appointed. They'll deal with it. They are not saying that everybody has been sacked. You sacked staff, 50 staff. They sacked 50 staff from MPA who were employed in 2016 January. 50 staff.
50.
No. I'm just giving an example. Police officers who were under training were sacked. Military were sacked. Over 8,000 workers, civil servants were sacked. And I was employed in 20.
Check this appointment.
2016. I was sacked. So I am not comfortable with people being sacked if they are lawfully employed. But if you know that sacking people is not good, like Osofo Mafu came, he shouldn't have also done what he did. He came and said they are not going to leave anybody. No, and even included those who were even appointed lawfully.
It was jettisoned. What he said was jettisoned.
Please.
And nobody went ahead to implement that.
Please, NDC, so our government has come and we look, good governance, corporate governance requires that if a new CEO is coming to a company and you are going to do recruitment, you must allow him to scrutinize the people you are going to bring. If you appoint a new coach to Black Star, what does he do? You look at those that he thinks they are good and leave them and bring new ones. When you came, you did the same thing. We have come, they are saying that those you have employed before, after December 7th, they have to wait for you to scrutinize their employment, because you may be trying to push in people who are not qualified. The nurses side, I've had nurses who have called me, who graduated in 2021, have not been employed. Somebody graduated 2023, is employed. Is that not injustice? That is what we are looking at.
So you must sack?
No, we are not sacking. They have been recruited, they have not been mechanized. They said those who have not been mechanized will be removed. Allow them to scrutinize it and do it. Salary increment you are talking about, you have increased salaries. Why did you wait till 2024 to increase salaries astronomically? We all know. We are all Ghanaians.
2023 was 30%.
We all know. You did this for whatever. Even though workers need increment in salary. Let's do it consistently without waiting for election years before we start doing things. Let's do them well. If you knew we were going to employ 30-something thousand people, why didn't you employ them long before? You waited election year, 1 month for you to go out. Then you push in people to positions that you want. No, we know it's there. You push in people to places that you think they can go there and be your CCTV cameras to monitor things for you. They will sack them. They will sack them. I was employed genuinely through Public Service Commission. I was sacked. Let alone those who had favors and they are employed over other people. There are people in the queue in Ghana Health Service, waiting for employment 2021. They've not gotten it. How do you employ people who graduated in 2023? It means there's injustice. So the government must review all those things and reappoint the people accordingly. Get those who have been sitting home for a long time, employ them. Finish the hospitals. We need money. You see, if we don't use our money in projects that would generate money for us, would be very useful for us. Look, you employ so many people in SIC. How is SIC struggling? Because you push in so many people into SIC who were redundant. Drawing salaries. So please, we have come in as a government. The people voted us to come in as a government to look at things and do them well. We are not saying that everybody in Ghana should go home and sit. No. We are saying that those who were employed, hurriedly employed after 7th of December, wait, let's analyze it.
Oh, you mean irregularly employed?
Irregularly employed. Yeah. Wait, let's analyze it. If you have been able to sit home for 4 years, and we say wait for 1 or 2 months, let's review it and get you in. What is the problem about this? There's no problem. But I sympathize with them. And I pray that government quickly reviews this and then get them to work if they need it.
Our time is up. But Dr. Naba says he was genuinely employed and was sacked.
Yes.
And his situation is so catastrophic.
Oh, no, I didn't.
That the 23,000 people...
We don't have 23,000. There's no 23,000 who have been sacked. There's no 23,000 that have been sacked. Why do you employ 23,000 people in 1 month?
We are not here to scream. We are here to have a conversation. Those 23,000 that were employed, they were not genuinely employed. So they deserve to be sacked for them to review. When you employ every year, several hundreds of thousands of employees are employed. And so if you are sacking 23,000 whose dates way back for about 5 months, 6 months, they've been in hospitals working, they've been in the communities teaching, and you have sacked them. Remember, it's not every patient they were attending to that is MPP. It's not every people they are teaching in the villages that are MPP. And remember, the arrogance and the impudence of finding it prudent to sack over 23,000 public sector workers. They should be minded that that 6.3 million votes is still waiting for them.
We doubt the figure. Do you know how we doubt the figure?
Please.
Go to National Service Secretariat.
Serious exception.
We've seen what has happened. You have figures you are giving, and we fear you giving us figures.
We are not yet.
We fear you giving us figures. 23,000. When we know thousands were forcibly put into National Service scheme.
When is done screaming, tell me. When is done screaming, tell me.
Several people,
I thought we come here to have
their names being put into National Service scheme. If you give us figures, you will doubt them.
No,
without your figures. Without your figures.
I will not degenerate to matching.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I will not degenerate to matching.
Right. You want to take over all the time, and you can't take it. That is my voice. That is my voice.
He should have been.
So know that is my voice. That is how I talk. I'm not screaming.
Been the one
it's my voice.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mean he should go to court?
In the same policy principle.
We won't go to court.
In the same principle.
Oral will work for them.
You claim that.
Don't worry, National Service Secretariat. They've shown us that their figures cannot be trusted.
You are more important.
Even Bawumia said that with the national ID card, no one can have his name in the payroll. And we use the national ID card to get people into
the conference clap for him. You tell him that he is denigrating your platform.
You say you want to show him the way, so
there's a standard. What way can he show me?
He said he wants to show you way.
He only comes here to scream, not to debate.
All right, that's okay.
Whatever way he wants it. Much longer. Please, you just came.
All right.
So that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you are here and you are spewing lies all the time, we'll tell you the truth. Your government spewed lies about national ID cards that you use it to stop illegal names on the payroll, and they use it in National Service Secretariat and made a lot of money.
You will let him land.
A lot of money. How do we trust your figures?
Please let him land.
Education, Ministry of Education told us free senior high school gave us 5-something million. Finally, they've come down. How do you trust your figures? So don't sit here and give us figures.
Please let him land. Give you
no, he's taking much time more than me. You've given him more time more than me.
I came on a platform I thought was decent.
Oh, no, it's decent.
Oh, no.
I'm indecent. If you started it heckling me,
but if you allow him to disrespect,
he's not allowing me. I'm not disrespecting any viewer. I'm enlightening the viewers about figures. Figures from MPP should not be trusted.
Let me just read some messages.
I will not be part of a degenerated conversation.
Let me do this.
You have brought somebody. He's only screaming on top of his lungs.
No, that's
okay.
If you know Anaba, that's how he talks.
I am not enthused about it.
Just
okay. Don't
let us have instant debate.
Oh, let me do this quickly.
We've been debating here.
What I've said, if it's loud voice, I don't know.
Hold on.
You have just joined the Good Morning
Reverend,
debate.
hold on. Reverend,
make sure
you don't judge me. The producers will judge me. You can't judge me. If the producers don't want me in here, the producers know the way I talk.
Begging you to tone down to standard.
Please, no, Reverend, you can't frighten me because you've been coming here before. It's not a matter of going to school before me. It's not a matter of going to Parliament before me. It's not a matter of coming to Good Morning Ghana before me. It's a matter of giving facts, talking the truth. And don't use that one to intimidate me because me, some of us, even your president couldn't intimidate me.
Don't do that.
Your president couldn't intimidate me. I was the first to take a coup to court.
Calm down. So let's do this quickly. Our viewers have sent us messages. Let's do this quickly.
This is most embarrassing.
Criminal gang of economists.
Don't do that. Anyway, so let's do this quickly. So Kojotu Bafo is back. Says, bro, please ask the good reverend to stop the deceit. Today you are daring to
let Kojotu Bafo come and debate me. Tell him that. Let him come and debate me. He's my friend.
This. You know he'll come.
He will not scream like
this.
One
of these days you come.
Yes.
Why didn't you protest as loudly as you are? Hold on. Why didn't you protest as loudly as you are now when the mayhem and madness was happening in 2017? You people went as far as implementing a policy of putting people, aparachiks as PROs in most parastatals, including the likes of Owusu Bempah at Ghana Gas. What did Alfredo Gbami do to be sacked and replaced with Owusu Bempah?
This one here says 23,000.
Hold on.
The figure is not correct.
So Gideon
the figure is not correct.
Says
it's not correct.
They
like faking figures. They like faking figures.
No, we've done the talking. Let's
He's saying 23,000.
No, I mean the two of you, I beg you. The supposed 24-hour economic policy, which was vociferously marketed by the NDC as one job, 3 shifts, 3 people, has unfortunately appears that in the process of implementing the same policy, some Ghanaian youth who were legitimately employed during the previous government tenure are now facing termination from their positions. Let's be aware of the reality and be prepared for any changes that may occur in the future. Ambassador Sampiale, he sends a message that says, I don't like the posture of the two MPs. They are arguing on my president, our government. Is this country so polarized that even MPs have lost their sense of one country with one density? Cry, my beloved country. A CEO in a loss-making state institution does not rent a vehicle to work because the state buys him or her vehicles. The person does not rent a house because the state buys him a house. The state almost buys everything, but look at what they earn. The problem is not solved by any percentage increase in the minimum wage. The solution is by rationalizing salaries and bridging the huge gap of disparities between all workers. The inequality is hugely unacceptable. But finally, I'm going to do this and then we can end the show. So McLean is a regular viewer of the show. McLean from Sefiri also says, President John Mahama, during his candidacy of the NDC, made grand promises of transforming the country into a paradise upon being elected as president, despite being fully aware of the prevailing conditions in the country. The economic growth rate under John Mahama's previous administration was marginally above 3%, while the MPs managed to achieve a growth rate exceeding 7% during their term. So which one is a criminally handled economy is President John Mahama talking about? The conversation is very simple. The Ghanaian electorate has bestowed upon John Mahama the mandate to fulfill his pledges and deliver the promises he made. It's imperative for President Mahama to shift his focus to from making excuses and assigning blame, and instead concentrate on taking decisive actions. That's coming from McLean. But my Radio Gold guys are not happy with you. My friends there, honestly, you have attacked the integrity of Radio Gold. I beg you, if you can just, I beg you, I know you're a friend of the media.
No, but
just say sorry to them.
No, but Moro, I must say that Ambassador Sam Piali has given a very good advice, which I'm sure Honorable Anabam has listened to. He's an NDC leader. He's not enthused about what you did. He comes to have debate with me.
Did.
And this, no, I didn't get in.
He said the two of us.
No, said the two of you.
He said the two of us.
He said
he's an elder. So he will not.
He said, my president.
I wouldn't have.
No, he will not.
I wouldn't have. You interjected me when I started speaking.
Please, this is the exception. Next time, if you give me an invitation, and it is someone whose standard will degenerate conversation, I will decline your invitation.
No, but don't do this.
Yes, I will decline. I say so.
No, but I said my friends are really good at saying that you've attacked
I cannot degenerate because of the posture of an opponent who chooses to disrespect the public and chooses to disrespect your platform.
If you don't want to come to the platform, don't come.
Every station
it's
has
your right,
their posture.
but you don't judge me.
Has their posture.
You don't have the right.
You know,
you don't have the right to judge me.
Yes. Radio XYZ have their posture.
Yes.
You know, Wound to me, radio, they have their posture.
Right.
And none of these is less superior.
Right.
But I'm saying that they have their style and they have their posture.
Okay.
And so if you want to speak like you're on any of these, you go there. But when you come to certain platforms, you assume that posture. And for me, I don't take it like that.
So your intention is not to attack.
Yeah,
this is my second time I've come here.
Who degenerates debates?
Oh, why do you keep
it will get you into
now you're getting personal.
Moro.
So please.
This is not the first time I've come here. This is my second time.
Yes,
the first time I came, did I raise my voice?
There wasn't anything.
What happened today? That when he was talking the last time, I never interjected. He never interjected me.
So
you were fine. Today he started to interject me. So I tried to raise my voice for people to hear me.
So George Patton says, good morning. It's very interesting to see NDC lamenting and apportioning blames. They are simply telling Ghanaians to buckle up for the hardship ahead. The MP government handed over doom-so-free economy to them. An economic growth of 7.1% can never be described as crime scenes economy. Anyway, so guys, so friend Agbenyo, you're a very good friend. He says, tell the court to ignore Reverend. What's the meaning of this condescending and disrespect of your opponent? You know,
anyway, I have debated several times.
Yes.
Ask him, is that how he's a fantastic debater.
Okay, so you're saying that
it's not
so
fine.
Dr. Anaba is the one who's
if you are enthused about it, that's fine. Okay. But I'm surprised that you're enthused and you accept this and you
please
condone
don't
this.
sit here.
So let me say a big thanks to Dr. Thomas Winsome Anaba, who's the MP for.
If you check the time taken here to speak, you have spoken more than 2/3.
All right. So
you don't want others to speak because you think you can heckle.
Thank you so very much for time. I also want to say a big thanks to the Honorable Reverend John Intim Fodjo, who is the MP for Ascent South and also a former Deputy Education Minister. My friends at Radio Gold, he says he didn't intend to attack your integrity or credibility. He's only said that he understands your style and he doesn't have a problem with it. And so when people appear on your platform, they're entitled to. How do you call it? Go by that style, but it's not necessary to attack your integrity. So we apologize if you felt slighted by that comment.
No,
anyway, it was said on this platform. So if they are hurt,
anyone to apologize on behalf, it is Dr. Anaba, not me.
No, Radio Gold. You mentioned Radio Gold. It doesn't look like Radio Gold.
I didn't say anything against Radio Gold.
Anyway,
I didn't say anything against Radio Gold.
Thank you very much for watching another edition.
Anything inappropriate that I've said.
Thank you for watching. I'm saying if they feel slighted. Thank you very much for watching another edition of Good Morning Ghana. My name is Aldo Moro. Today has been a little, how do you call it? We apologize if you felt that, it wasn't as kosher as you would have expected it. We sincerely apologize. We'll do better next time around. Juma Mubarak once again. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Ebenezer, pick the duster. Put the duster on my chair. Ebenezer, pick the duster from my chair. Ebenezer, put the duster under my chair. Put the duster under my chair. Give the duster to Nana. Nana, come and put it on my chair. Good. Pick the duster from my chair. Put the duster under my chair. Put the duster under my chair. Remove the duster from my bag. Put the duster under my chair. You are laughing. Then I put the duster on my chair. Pick the duster from my chair. Put the duster under my chair.
The problem isn't the waste. The problem is where the waste is.